don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Yeah. Don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Yeah. Up on a hill across the blue lake, that's where I had my first heartbreak. I still remember how it all changed. My father said, don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Yeah. Don't you worry now. Yeah. I get drunk, wake up and wasted. Still I realize the time that I wasted.
Bang, bang, bang! Welcome in here to the Witty Scoot Racing channel, live here for the Madness Racing League. Track fact of the night, we're championship racing here in Homestead, Miami Speedway around this 1.53 mile true shaped asphalt oval. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get more rounder than it does here tonight. Open in November 1995 in Homestead, Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the guys are down on the racetrack dialing in these race cars. We're moments away from the qualifying session here tonight for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2 Championship Race. Ladies and gentlemen, you check down over here on the bottom right portion of your screen. You'll see the 4 numbers of the contestants competing for the championship here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the sun is starting to go down. Excuse me, let me go ahead and pull this up off the screen here for you folks here. Presented by Steam. I guess we should go ahead and call it. They're trying to get their TV time in here today. Ladies and gentlemen, as we again count down the clock here to the qualifying session, everybody's starting to load in their race cars. Make sure all the seatbelts are strapped up and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, 120 laps here tonight around the Homestead Miami Speedway, one of the biggest ones we've had up so far up to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and shut my big fat ass mouth. We're moments away from the qualifying session. Your favorite driver has a chance to score a championship here tonight. The number 99 of Jerry Powers, the 5 of Chase Johnson, the 02 of Nicholas Maynard, and Kevin Tankos, the Final 4 championship contender. Back in just a moment here on the Witty Scoot Racing channel. Moments away. We're getting ready to go racing. Perfect time for the song to end here. Looks like qualifying session's getting ready to start kicking off here tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway. We're looking for first contestant number 1. Here he comes right here. Looks like the number 85 Toyota Supra Season 1 champion, the U.S. Navy veteran of Alfonso Claudio. Works his way through the pit zone here, getting ready to cycle back onto the racetrack for the first time here tonight for his qualifying session. Alfonso Claudio comes all the way from KA, Puerto Rico. Alfonso Claudio talked to him before in the garage, said he was glad to have Mike and Ike on the car this weekend. Didn't get to race as many races as he wanted to. Didn't get to compete all season long full time to defend that championship. But Alfonso Claudio will go home here in the playoffs. He'll make it on points, but Alfonso Claudio will try the top side of the racetrack here in Homestead, Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, the first time we've had the championship race here in Homestead. We've been to Michigan for season 1. This is season 2 here at Homestead. Big loose down the back straightaway for Alfonso Claudio. Alfonso Claudio heads down the back straightaway, diving down into turns 3 and 4. He'll elect to take the top side of the racetrack here. Alfonso Claudio painting the absolute top edge of the racetrack. He'll scrape the outside wall. And that's probably going to cost him his lap right here. We'll come across the line, though, see where Alfonso Claudio post is currently. He'll stick right there in that 4th place spot with no time posted. Here comes one of the championship 4 contestants. Through the corners, that's the number 5 of Showtime Chase Johnson down the back straightaway from Greer, South Carolina. Showtime Chase Johnson trying to win his championship here for the Madness Racing League. He's the Cup Series champion for Season 1 and the Truck Series champion. Chase Johnson just missing this Xfinity Series championship to grab all 3 complete jewels here for the Madness Racing League. He'll come off turn 4 for his first lap. P5 on the board for Chase Johnson. Try to get as many contestants as possible in here tonight. Here's the other championship 4 contender of Kevin Tankos, as he'll round out his qualifying championship lap right here in qualifying. He'll get P3 on the board. We'll scroll down here, see if we got any more contestants on the board. Here comes the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Championship 4 contestant here tonight, driving the number 02, blue and gold body armor. Richmond Water Heaters 02. He's on the top side of the racetrack from Welford, South Carolina. Big loose there, but he'll head all turns 3 and 4. Nicholas Maynard, where will he post here for his first completion of his lap? P10 on the board for Nicholas Maynard. Looks like Kyle Fountain will round out his qualifying session as well. Here comes Carter Jackson out on the racetrack. He's done. So Nicholas Maynard right now, currently the only one busy on the racetrack. Nicholas Maynard, big loose off turn 2. He'll go around. That's killer for the qualifier. For the championship 4 contender, Nicholas Maynard will smoke it up here off turn 2 and go around. And it looks like that's going to cost him big time here. John Michael Bryant still posted down on pit road, as well as Corey Riptide Tesner. And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to cut a lap here. Looks like they're going to run out of time here. They're not going to have enough time to cut the lap. So that's going to do it here for the qualifying session here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. James Fountain on the pole here for the championship race, looking to spoil the party here tonight. And you see how they'll run out here tonight. Jerry Powers, Terry Hughes Jr., Blake Koschchild, and Tony Cook. No time posted here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'll bring the music back up just a little bit more here as we continue to wait out the qualifying session here. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Xfinity Series Season 2 Championship Race, reminding you to go sign up here today for Season 3. See if we can't throw up the QR code for you, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and screenshot your screen. Get yourself added into the Season 3 for the Madness Racing League right around the corner. We'll be kicking off. Not going to Daytona to kick off Season 3. It will be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So make sure you're going ahead and getting that one screenshotted and added to your photos. Get yourself added up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the remaining schedule of the year. No more races after tonight. 2 weeks is how we do it every 2 weeks. This is what we tackled on Daytona, Kansas, New Hampshire, all the way to the Roval, Chicagoland, Worldwide Gateway. Then we started our playoffs at Atlanta, Richmond Auto Club, and then the Homestead Miami Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and shut my big fat ass mouth right now, cut the music down, and ask you guys to rise and stand as you're able to for tonight's national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for standing up. You may sit back down, put your caps back on. We are getting ready to go racing here for the championship race for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, It came down to this point right here. We are locked in, loaded. Guys are filling out the field here. Getting ready to kick off tonight's driver introduction portion part of the broadcast. Excuse me, I am all over the place here this afternoon. I want to apologize for the stuffy voice. Haven't been feeling the greatest here recently. We're getting ready to start and kick off tonight's driver introduction. On the pole here tonight, not playoff eligible for the championship, but looking to spoil the party. Driving the number 24 Chevy Camaro, that's James Fountain. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 9 Pokemon Chevy Camaro, excuse me. That's the 21-year-old from Coleman, Alabama, Ty Robertson. Starting in the third place spot here tonight, making his comeback here, the Madness Racing League, driving the chromed out Napa Auto Parts 15. That's Carter Jackson. Starting in the fourth place spot here tonight, driving the Budweiser number 4 Chevy Camaro. That's Kevin Tankos. Kevin Tankos locked in here to the championship 4 here tonight. He'll look to pick up his first Madness Racing League championship. Starting in the fifth place spot here tonight, driving the STI Johnson number 5 Chevy Camaro from Greer, South Carolina. That's the Season 1 Season 1 Truck Series and Cup Series champion. Looking to complete all 3 jewels here tonight. That's Chase Johnson. Driving that LKQ pull-apart number 23 Toyota Supra from Greer, South Carolina. That's your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. Driving the number 8 Maccabee Auto Services Chase Johnson Racing Charter number 8 from Greer, South Carolina. That's Corey Tessner. Starting in the number 13 Premier Setups Coffee Engine Shop from Goldsboro, North Carolina. That's the number 13 of Jonathan Smith. Driving the Tyler's Pub of the Pier, number 59, Jim Fountain Racing, chartered entry. Looking to team up with the Boogeyman next year. Driving the number 59, that's Kyle Fountain. Driving the number 85, Mike and Ike Toyota Supra. That's the Season 1 Xfinity Series champion. That's the U.S. Navy veteran of Alfonso Claudio. Starting in the 11th place spot here tonight, driving the number 02 Body Armor Ford Mustang. That's the 3rd championship contender here tonight from Wilford, South Carolina. That's Nicholas Maynard. Starting behind him, driving the number 99 Closeout Vet Chevy Camaro from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Racing clean, driving mean with a Zen in between. The final 4 championship contender, Jerry Powers. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 81 Oreo Ford Mustang from Troy, Alabama. John might be your mom's favorite driver, but this is your wife's. That's Terry Hughes Jr. Driving the number 33 Chevy Camaro here tonight from Home Run Cafe on board from Greer, South Carolina. That's the old-timer Tony Cook. Driving the number 2 Paint House Toyota Supra from Tempe, Arizona. That's the 25-year-old of Blake Hochschild. And starting out tail end of the field here tonight, making his Xfinity Series racing debut here in the championship, that's the 14 of Bradley Cross. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what you came for. It took all year long, well, about 3 or 4 months worth to make it up to this point here. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite driver has a chance here tonight at the impossible. Scoring a championship here would mean everything. With Season 3 right around the corner, it would definitely staple your name into the history books of the Madness Racing League. This is only the 2nd season we've ever had. The sun is going down. Look at that beautiful picture back here. We are stacked out here tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway. 78,626 sold out asses bought a ticket here tonight to watch their favorite driver either spoil the party or go to victory lane and get absolutely fucked up off some beer, celebrating their championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the Base Car hands them down the back straightaway here in Homestead Miami Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, it's real simple. If you are one of the final 4 championship contenders, look down in the bottom right part of your screen. That's where you'll find them all night long. If you want to win the championship here tonight, you need to win the race or outscore your opponents racing for the championship. So with majority of the guys in the field, all but 4 of them not being championship eligible, we'll see how things shake out here. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what we came for. Getting ready to kick off the championship race here for Season 2 for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. It's going to be all in the hands of James Fountain. He'll slap on the gas with Ty Robinson on the outside of him. We're green here for the championship race, live here in Homestead, Miami Speedway. James Fountain leads them down into turn 1. Ripping through the gears here through turns 1 and 2. Everybody electing to take the middle to the bottom side of the racetrack here. How much will the racetrack start to move upwards towards the wall here? Everybody calls it the Kyle Larson line. I just call it the outside lane. No, one certain person can do anything better than anybody. That's just my fetch stretch on it here, working their way through turns 3 and 4. Looks like it's going to be all James Fountain for the race lead with Ty Robertson on the inside of him here. Battling back here for the 7th place spot is John Michael Bryant. He'll roll up to the back bumper of Corey Riptide Tesner. This number 8 Maccabee Auto Services LLC Camaro. Look on the top side of the racetrack. There goes Carter Jackson. He's searching for some great quick and early. He'll get a run down the back straightaway here. He'll clear 1, 2 cars here. And he'll clear both Chase Johnson Racing teammates. And he'll pull right up to the back bumper of Kevin Tankos. What a run right there for the number 15 of Carter Jackson from Catega. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant sees what happens right in front of him. He'll scoot up to the top side of the racetrack, being loose off the corner. Corey Tesner is able to hold on to it, though. Here comes Nicholas Maynard, Jerry Powers, the 2 championship 4 contestant guys battling it out door to door here with Jonathan Smith right behind them. Rolling on the top side of the racetrack will go Nicholas Maynard. Jerry Powers will elect to stay down on the bottom side. So it's going to be Fountain, Robertson, Tankos, Jackson, Johnson down the back straightaway. That'll be the top 5. James Fountain leads them into turns 1 and 2. Ty Robertson all over the tail here, but we got guys absolutely not going to give an inch here. This is the final race of the year for the championship season 2. What are you going to do? Doesn't matter if you're championship eligible or not. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are going to be going at each other's throat all night long, and you can find it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain starting to take it really down here on the bottom side of the racetrack, and everybody's starting to really join them here. Will this be the trend of tonight? We're looking at it right here. Here's the Season 1 champion of Alfonso Claudio, driving this number 85 Toyota Supra. Alfonso Claudio came in last year, won the championship race, won 2 playoff races to make sure he got it done, and he went to the championship at the Michigan International Raceway last year and was able to hold off the other 3 contestants that he was battling. That earned Alfonso Claudio his trophy that he got hanging on his wall in a Madness Racing League Season 1 Xfinity Series Championship shirt that I'm sure that he wears very high and proud. But Alfonso Claudio, the U.S. Navy veteran, didn't get to race as much as he wanted to here in Season 2. So he said he'd have to come back next year, try it out to redeem his championship. Is out the number 85 of Alfonso Claudio sees this little roadblock ahead of him between these 2 black and red cars of John Michael Bryant and Jerry Powers here on the bottom side. Jerry Powers will look for the slide job over the number 23, not able to complete it. Jerry Powers will cut him a little break there. Nicholas Maynard will slap the outside wall right behind him. They'll battle door to door down here to turns 1 and 2. The boogeyman, John Michael Bryant, maybe possibly looking to make it 3 wide up the middle here on Corey Riptide Tesner, but the boogeyman's big loose off the corner. And he's able to hold on to it riding inside the number 23 machine of John Michael Bryant as he tries to go run back down. Jerry Powers and the rest of these boys, but he's got company charging on this back bumper. As here comes a hard-charging Blake Hochschild. Not going to give an inch here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, trying to keep you updated with everything going on here around the racetrack right now. James Fountain, currently the race leader. He is pulled away from Ty Robertson. Ty Robertson, winner 2 weeks ago, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, Alfonso Claudio searching on that top side of the racetrack here with his Mike and Ike number 85. So the Toyota Supras riding in a group right here. 1, 2, 3 of them right beside each other. That's going to be for the 8th, 9th, and 10th place spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looking off the exit of turn 4, just look at this beautiful shot here around the Homestead Miami Speedway. Recently retextualized and redid by the iRacing platform, so we really gladly appreciate them doing that for us. Meanwhile, Carter Jackson may have ended up those Goodyear tires a little bit too early here. He's 3 wide on the bottom side of Chase Johnson, but he's all over the place. He holds on to it. Jerry Powers slaps the outside wall. That's a big shot to the outside wall for the championship 4 contender of Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers is going to have to try to figure something out here, try to slow down this number 99 closeout batch machine. He's gotten around Nicholas Maynard. The guys racing for a championship, Alfonso Claudio, will smack the outside wall. That'll bring these guys right back here into the picture. Meanwhile, Terry Hughes Jr., Kyle Fountain going at it back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. A Chevy on the top side and a blue oval down on the bottom side. Kyle Fountain will elect to take the top side. Terry Hughes Jr. will rip down on the bottom side. Tony Cook searching back here in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, riding on board with Tony Cook. We know how things shake inside of this number 33 Home Run Cafe Cookout, whatever you want to call it, team. Tony Cook, the old-timer here, he is known to fuck up the pit strategy, make it go long, and drive his way to the front. Tony Cook been sim racing probably way before you was even thought of coming out of your mother's vagina. Tony Cook been around a long, long time. John Michael Bryan on the top side. Blake Hochschild trying to make quick work of the number 23, but he's just not able to quite get the gas down here on the bottom side. But this is really going to help the number 2 Toyota of Blake Hochschild save a little extra Goodyear tire as the run progresses here. We are 10 laps complete so far up to this point, and it has been all green. Ty Robinson will search back down on the bottom side of the racetrack as James Fountain continues to Kyle Larson in on the top side of the racetrack. Will he rear out those Goodyear tires? Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos has worked a spot over Corey Riptide Tesner for the third place spot. Kevin Tankos, the furthest championship running contestant up here right now in this number 4 Budweiser Chevy Camaro from Hawthorne, New Jersey, the 21-year-old. Down the back straightaway here. Talked to Kevin Tankos before the race. Kevin Tankos said, I've had several opportunities at racing in these championship races, and none of them went my way. Kevin Tankos said he felt like he had an excellent season all year long. If you've been a true advocate fan of the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and you understand what we've done here, watched all the races, you've seen the number 4 of Kevin Tankos pick up the victory at the Charlotte Roval, which locked him into the playoffs, where he absolutely put BTA, that's belt to ass, around the Roval in Charlotte. He led every single lap that night, including the competition caution. He was able to fire back off on the restart. That locked him into the playoffs. And just 2 weeks ago, he led almost every single lap at the Auto Club Speedway, but he had it taken from him. But we went to Richmond in the Xfinity Series for the second playoff race, and Kevin Tankos absolutely was able to steal one there late from Jerry Powers in the Xfinity Series, which brought him right here tonight in the championship 4. Kevin Tankos trying everything in his power to get up here to the front of the pack, try to pass the race leader, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. So James Fountain, for 13 laps, has been out front, so that's no point scored for the championship 4 guys. So right now, we are running currently 0-0-0-0 for these championship 4 guys. So it's anybody's ball game, 13 laps in. I'll keep you updated all night long. Corey Tesner not trying to go away from this number 4. Kevin Tankos will scoot back here to the second championship contender here tonight. Chase Johnson currently running second in spot. He loves what he's seeing. You're riding out the front nose as he tries to run down the number 4 of Kevin Tankos, the guy that he's racing right in front of him. Chase Johnson started the season absolutely dominating here in the Madness Racing League. Picked up 2 wins on the regular season, 7 top 5s for Chase Johnson, as he probably led the most laps this year behind Jerry Powers, if not the most. Chase Johnson came into the championship race here tonight and in the playoffs plus 10 points, not the championship, but the playoffs, plus 10 points to his advantage, because Chase Johnson was the regular season champion when it came to regular season points. So try the bottom side of the racetrack here. You see his teammate Corey Tesner on the outside trying to make a little bit of something shake here. Corey Tesner not championship eligible after not completing 3 or more races here in the Madness Racing League. Chase Johnson, though, talked to him before the race. He said he felt like they were going to have the speed here tonight. At Homestead, it was one of his favorite mile and a half ovals. He said, but it really just depended on how the strategy went out and how much green flag racing we actually got to do here tonight in Homestead, Miami. Chase Johnson looking for that so desperately Xfinity Series Championship. The Xfinity Series Championship goes back with Chase Johnson here tonight. He will be the first and only race car driver in the Madness Racing League to have won a championship in each and every single series. That's Cup, Truck, and Xfinity. Chase Johnson got a lot of work to do right now. He's currently running second in the championship 4, 5th on the race right now. And behind him, the next contestant is Jerry Powers. This number 99 closeout bats Chevy Camaro from Park Ridge, New Jersey, has been really the only other guy to really keep Chase Johnson in check all year long here for Season 2 of the Xfinity Series. Jerry Powers came into tonight's event second in the regular season standing points, and it is damn close. Jerry Powers came in mid-portion part through last year. He'll join and run full-time here on the Xfinity Series. He's currently locked into the championship race right now. He's locked 0-0 with the rest of the 3 guys he's racing for. He's trying to get around this number 15 of Carter Jackson, but Jerry Powers was finally looking for that so desperately win that he was needing here in the Madness Racing League for the Xfinity Series. And ladies and gentlemen, he just got heartbroken so many times here. Jerry Powers finally found victory lane in the Truck Series for the Madness Racing League, but talked to him before the race down there in the garage. He said he had his family here tonight in the Homestead Miami Speedway. Nothing more would be greater to Jerry Powers than a clean race and a chance to take that trophy home with him tonight. He currently rounds out the 7th place spot. So ladies and gentlemen, here's the battle for the, looks like going to be the 12th place spot between Alfonso Claudio and Blake Koschchild. Ever since we started our little rundown, still going at it back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Here comes a hard-charging Terry Hughes Jr. up the middle. Did this Oreo Ritz number 81 Ford Mustang save a little bit of tire or something here on the back half of this long run? Talked to the admin before the race, was trying to get a little clarity on this pit strategy call and what these drivers are going to be dealing with all night long. Ladies and gentlemen, heard from the admin, anywhere between 36, 37 laps in gas was going to be the topic of tonight. Meanwhile, Corey Riptide Tester starting to lose some extra position here as he continues to try to paint the top side of the racetrack. He'll scrape the outside wall, and Corey Tester will finally elect to come off of it and fall back into line. Jerry Powers will move right in front of the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tester. They'll battle their way down here to turns 3 and 4. This will be an interesting battle back here. Kyle Fountain, Nicholas Maynard going at it here. Talked with Kyle Fountain before the race. Kyle Fountain said that he would be making a team change next year to Toyota to join John Michael Bryan in the number 23 Gorilla Mine teams. And these guys will bring a all-new Toyota team to the Madness Racing League here for Season 3 of the Xfinity Series. We'll see how things will shake out for the Boogeyman and Cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain. Will they bring the speed next year? Meanwhile, Tony Cook listening into this radio. Tony Cook said, ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't one of the best tracks that he had here tonight. It was Homestead, wasn't in his book here tonight, but Tony Cook said if he could really save some extra tires, he was going to try to play a different kind of pit strategy here tonight, try to run it long on a couple of these folks right now. Tony Cook, though, battling some handling conditions. John Michael Bryant has a little bit of company. These Toyotas are really starting to move forward here through the field. We've seen this a lot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tester, and looks like Jerry Powers battling it out back here. The Toyotas have really started to make their way to the front of the racetrack as the long run progresses in each and every single series, and it's been one hell of a thing to talk about, especially when we're able to knock off green flag laps at a consistent rate. James Fountain currently the race leader right now with Ty Robertson on the outside. The battle for the race lead between 2 non-playoff drivers is absolutely heating up right now, and I can't believe it. Who's going to catch them all? It's got to be Ty Robertson, as he'll like to stick in the middle side of the racetrack this time. That'll make sure James has to come up off that gas on the bottom side, and he'll complete the pass for the race lead, and Ty Robertson will take control of the race lead off turns 3 and 4, 24 laps into tonight's event. What a beautiful shot here around the Homestead Miami Speedway as these guys continue to work their way through the corners. It's been one hell of a show so far. We're about 25 laps complete up to this point. No caution flags. Couldn't ask for any better for a championship race here for the Madness Racing League. On the Xfinity Series, looks like going to be Chase Johnson with the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He'll run a 34.56 to the leader's 34.76. And James Fountain will match the race leader 37.76 as well. So these top 4 or 5 guys, you can almost throw a blanket over when it comes to lap time, but they're just nowhere in the same picture as one another. Here's the battle between Jerry Powers and Corey Riptide Tester. And while I got the battle box up, this should remind me to go on ahead and show you guys tonight's keys of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find yourself in victory lane here tonight, you're going to have to do these 4 things. Save those Goodyear tires, ladies and gentlemen. Rip the fence? Question mark. How much nuts do you have inside of your driver's suit? How much are you willing to get up there on the top side of that racetrack and absolutely let it y'all out here? It does wear out a little bit of extra tire, but is it beneficial here for the short run? But not right now as we keep continuing to pick off these green flag runs. Prepare for season 3. If you don't have a chance at winning the championship here tonight, at least go ahead and prepare yourself for season 3. Anybody has a chance of coming in next year and doing the same thing. Use tonight as a chance to try something different. And finally, strategy, strategy, strategy. Who's going to do what, when, where, why, and how when it comes to these pit stop strategy calls? Jerry Powers currently running right now 3rd in the championship standings behind Chase Johnson, who's in the 4th place spot, who currently sits behind the 1st place championship driver, Kevin Tanko. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's 28 coming to 29 next time around, complete here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League Season 2 Xfinity Series Championship race. And while we have it right here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll throw you on down to the racetrack for tonight's Madness Racing League Fast and Loud from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We hope you enjoyed the nice Madness Racing League Fast and Loud for the Championship Series. Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant going at it here. 32 laps into tonight's event. Nicholas Maynard trying on the inside. Nicholas Maynard, a Championship 4 contestant here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard didn't win any regular season races to find himself here. Locked himself in on points and won the opening race at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the draft to lock himself into this championship race. Talked to Nicholas Maynard before the race. He said this was his only one that he was missing out of the championship series, but he is yet to win not one of them. So Nicholas Maynard said he was really going to try this time to try to save a little bit of tire here on the bottom side of the racetrack and try to work his way through the front. A lot of monkey see, monkey do here in the past couple of weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel when it comes to pit stop strategy calls. So Nicholas Maynard said they were going to try to work something different here tonight, make guys get off strategy if they were going to just follow each other around. But meanwhile, it's going to be guys like Alfonso Claudio cutting the fastest lap on the racetrack last time, so we'll check it this time. And yay, Alfonso Claudio isn't even close to the race leader right there, Ty Robertson. So Ty Robertson must have had a little bit of handling conditions, We're really getting out the back end of Ty Robertson, and there is not a jacker in sight. battling for this race lead from Ty Robertson. Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos may have a little bit of company back here from Showtime Chase Johnson, and Kevin Tankos. Both of these guys running here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for a chance at a championship spot here. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like Carter Jackson, Kyle Fountain, and a bunch of these other boys bringing it down pit road. Carter Jackson stuck on pit road. Kyle Fountain, James Fountain will bring it down from the race lead. So ladies and gentlemen, green flag pit stops are on our way here in Miami. James Fountain and Kyle Fountain, the two Fountain boys, will bring it down on the pit road. James Fountain will hop the wall. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the Maccabee Auto Parts Services. 24 Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaro. They'll drop the jack and James Fountain is off. Kyle Fountain says you guys are going to have to tighten up this race car. 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and Kyle Fountain will get 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and he'll be off of pit road. Here comes Blake Koschchild and Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard, our championship 4 guy, coming down on the pit road. Blake Koschchild right behind him in his Toyota Supra, but not championship eligible. What will they do? Nicholas Maynard bringing it down onto his pit box, said he's losing rear loose end on the grip. His guys will jump the wall. Looks like they're going to jack up the right side of the race car. It's going to be Elite's right side tires and Goodyear. 2 sets of Goodyear tires and a full can of Sunoco Racing fuel. Nicholas Maynard still stuck in here. The tire will come off. It'll go on. Nicholas Maynard, they'll drop the jack, and he's off of pit road, and everybody else brings it on down. Here comes Alfonso, Corey Tesner, Jerry Powers, Kevin Tankos, and the rest of these guys will bring it on. So green flag pit stops are in full effect here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. Jerry Powers, the championship car contestant, will slide in and miss this box. That's crucial right there to Jerry Powers. Kevin Tango says, leave the race car as it is. It feels really good right now. I'm really starting to drive my way back up through the field. Do not touch the wedge adjustment. 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for Kevin Tankos, and he's up and off of pit road. Jerry Powers will lose time by sliding into his box and overdoing it here. Big killer time here for Jerry Powers. Here comes Showtime Chase Johnson, the 4th and final championship contestant, to come down pit road and pit that thing. So right now, Nicholas Maynard's on the cycle to come back out in front. Chase Johnson said you're going to have to loosen up the rear just a tad bit. Take an air pressure adjustment out the right rear. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for Chase Johnson. Ty Robertson from the race lead down here on pit road, servicing that number 9 Pokemon machine. They'll drop the jack and he's off, and so is Showtime Chase Johnson. A little bit caught up on the left rear for Chase Johnson, but he is up and out of pit road. Chase Johnson losing a little bit of time here. Here comes Jonathan Smith. He'll bring it down pit road this go time. Jonathan Smith will cycle himself to the race lead right there, trying to hope and pray that something will shake out here on the long run for the engine 4, number 13. Jonathan Smith said, ladies and gentlemen, he was like, we have the car to beat here. That's what I really feel like. But you guys are going to have to make it go about 10, 15 more extra laps here on the longer run. These guys will make sure they double cup Sunoco Racing fuel into the left side of that 13 machine. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and no adjustment to the number 13 of Jonathan Smith, and he's up and off of pit road. Carter Jackson will climb out from that Napa Auto Parts machine and throw his helmet down. It looks like he has dropped a valve here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Terry Hughes Jr. will run it long from the race lead here, bring it down the pit road to his number 81 Oreo Ritz Ford Mustang. Terry Hughes Jr. said, we are off strategy big time. We got way far behind right there on that green flag run. We need to try to change something different. He'll pull into his box. They'll come and jack up the right side of the race car. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 Sunoco Racing can fuel into the left side of the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. They'll drop the jack and he'll be off of pit road here momentarily. So with everything starting to shape back out here on the racetrack, it looks like the cycle has completed itself all the way. James Fountain is going to be the race leader here through the green flag pit stops. Ty Robertson will lose the race lead to James Fountain, but we'll see what the 1 lap extra difference does in tires here as the long run begins to progress. But Chase Johnson and Kevin Tanko's going at it back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. These 2 guys fighting for a championship. Everything could be it right here through the pit cycle. 41 laps green up to this point so far. Still 79 laps left to go in tonight's event. What will you do as the pit stop cycle continues to work its way through? Nicholas Maynard will jump from 11th place to 8th place right there on that green flag pit stop call, as he was the first of the championship 4 guys to bring it down. So right now, the only person Nicholas Maynard's been able to jump in position has been the number 99 of Jerry Powers, who overslid his pit box and hit the inside wall. Cost him about 5 to 6 seconds on that green flag pit stop from his boys. He'll come over the radio and say, that is my apologies to the team. Jerry Powers says, if this one costs us the championship, I won't know what to do. Jerry Powers has a lot of work here to do on the back half of this championship race. 120 laps scheduled here tonight for the Season 2 championship race. We've completed 42 of them, and Jerry Powers, trouble with a hiccup on pit road. He'll throw a Zen in right before he drops the clutch and pulls out of his pit box. Jerry Powers looking to lock in and load his way to the front here as he tries to work around the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. Looking at the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard, a couple weeks ago on the Rudy Scoot Racing channel, threw a Hail Mary at the Kentucky Speedway on pit strategy call. So we know whoever's up in the box for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard will try something different here in a heartbeat. They'll split the gas up, do whatever they need to try to make things shake out here. Right now, I'm seeing another person that benefited tremendously through this green flag pit stop was Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina. As he ran the extra couple laps here to let the cycle roll back to him as the race lead. As you hear him, he's really easy and soft back onto the gas, trying to work his way back out here to the outside of wall, down the back straightaway. Jonathan Smith currently running in the top 5 spot right now, trying to make something shake here on this long run. So it's going to be bow ties riding out the top 5 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Alfonso Claudio in the Mike and Ike Toyota Supra. That's how far you got to go back to 6th place to find the first non-Chevy bow tie in contention. Corey Tesner as well as Nicholas Maynard fall in line, as well as Blake Hochschild. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it up to another commercial break here. Let you guys ride down here on the racetrack for another Madness Racing League Fast and Loud, as I need to wet my whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go grab another beer or light another cigarette. These guys are absolutely going at it here for the championship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the championship race for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been in the Discord up to this point and you are not registered for Season 3, what in the absolute hell are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, time is starting to wind down here for the register of Season 3. We're not sure on a start date yet, but the sign-ups will go live at the conclusion of tonight's race for Season 3. So while we still have it up here on the blimp shot here, trying to find us a good battle out on the racetrack, we see James Fountain get absolutely smoked around by Ty Robertson. And Ty Robertson on these brand new, fresh Goodyear tires starting to run down the lap traffic. That's the older brother of Kyle Fountain, a lap down here. Everybody else looks like they've managed to work their way out of the pit cycle and being a lap down. So ladies and gentlemen, why I have this pulled up here for the final time this season, I want to make sure we give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors throughout the night. for making this happen. The Saturday Night Xfinity Series presented by Pop's Porch Bed Swings, 864-978-1913. Go hit them up on Facebook at Pop's Porch Bed Swings today. A huge shout out here to the Home Run Cafe in Greer, South Carolina for making the Xfinity Series possible from season 1. Day 1, the Home Run Cafe has been on board. Go check them out today. Tell them the Madness Racing League sent you. The Madness Racing League Xfinity Series presented by NapDaddyRacingDesigns.com. Head on over to NapDaddyRacingDesigns.com as they got all your iRacing paint scheme, liveries, and needs. Tell them the Madness Racing League sent you today. That's enough with those shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue to pay the bills as the night heads on. But right now, Ty Robertson is paying his dues as he's in the race lead. But here comes a hard-charging Showtime Chase Johnson here on the back half as he has gotten around Kevin Tankos. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are just now tuning in, the Championship 4 contenders located in the bottom right portion of your screen on the race logo, the 02, the 5, the 4, and the number 99. Battling it out for a championship here tonight to call themselves Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2 champions. Right now, Chase Johnson is the front-running contestant when it comes to finishing order. Ladies and gentlemen, each lap led is 1 point added to your total score. And with James Fountain in this number 24 and Ty Robertson in this number 9, absolutely spoiling in the party here tonight so far, leading every lap up to this point out of the 54 we have completed. This has brought Chase Johnson around Kevin Tankos through the pit cycle. And right now, Chase Johnson would get that 34-point finishing spot right now, and Kevin Tankos would get the 33rd point finishing paying spot right now, and that would be the championship by 1 point just by finishing position. Ladies and gentlemen, there is bonus points in different kind of such situations located throughout the field for these guys to get, like the most laps led, the pole sitting award, the hard charger, and or leading a lap. Every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. So James Fountain right now is not sure if he's backing up, trying to save a little bit of extra Goodyear rubber on that number 24, or if he's just trying to play the teammate card here and get a little bit of helping draft to the number 5 of Chase Johnson. Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos is going to have to sit back inside of this number 4 and just listen to it right here. Just play with the throttle. Make sure you save some of Goodyear tire on that race car as the number 4 of Budweiser machine of Kevin Tankos sees what's in front of him and knows what he has to do here in the next coming laps. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson looking to work around James Fountain here. He'll try the bottom part of the racetrack. Tri-Force slides up off the corner, and it looks like he'll be able to complete it. Now the next car in sight is the race leader of Ty Robertson. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson all over the back end of, James Fountain all over the back end of Showtime Chase Johnson, possibly trying to give him a little bit of a push there. Meanwhile, Jerry Powers and Nicholas Maynard, the other two contestants running for the championship, all the way back here in the 9th and 10th place spot. Nicholas Maynard has a fair bit of a gap over Jerry Powers right now heading into turns 3 and 4, but these guys are completely separated from Chase Johnson and Kevin Tankos through this pit cycle. So if they want something to shake or even have a chance at it, they're going to have to throw things differently down here on pit road or hope and pray for a caution flag. Ladies and gentlemen, we've pitted 1 time here tonight so far. So 2 more sets of Goodyear tires should be laying in the pits for majority of these guys. We'll throw up the pit stop lap right here. Try to keep you guys on strategy with the people that did what, when, where, and why. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like Robertson, Johnson, Fountain, Tankos, all these guys have pitted within 1 to 3 laps of each other, with the only other person, John Michael Bryant, re-pitting on lap 46, which he is currently registered in the 13th place spot, 2 laps down. John Michael Bryant's got a lot of work here to do as he is on the back half, winless here in the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. John Michael Bryant hasn't won a race since we kicked off the Madness Racing League at Daytona Season 1, Race 1. He's got several top 5 runner-up positions, but John Michael Bryant just trying to find the pace here late on the Booty Scooter Racing channel to try to charge his way up to the front. He's got a lot of work to do here, though, 2 laps down. 60 laps complete this time around here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Ty Robertson has absolutely put a gap in between him and Showtime Chase Johnson for this 2nd place spot. And Chase Johnson has left his teammate James Fountain in the dust. Kevin Tankos Stretching on the top side of the racetrack for some grip. Ladies and gentlemen, 60 laps down, 60 more to go here for the championship race. It's anybody's ball game. Welcome back here on the Moody Scooter Racing channel. Catch you right here side by side for the action. Just try to keep my mouth closed so you guys can hear these absolutely shitting and getting race cars, because that's what they're doing, shitting and getting around the Homestead Miami Speedway right now. Jonathan Smith, though, has the fastest lap on the racetrack. He just ran a 34.61 to the race leader, Ty Robertson's 34.65, so about 0.02 of a second faster for Jonathan Smith. We'll check the lap times this time around. You'll have to give it up and wait, though, and they will tie on time. 34.63 for Ty Robertson, 34.63 for Jonathan Smith here, who's losing a little bit of touch, but it looks like Corey Tessner's all in the outside wall there. Scrape it up the right side of that number 8 Maccabee Auto Services LLC machine. They'll come across turns 4 here, and that's going to be Terry Hughes Jr., Ty Robertson, the race leader. Chase Johnson's in second place, followed by Kevin Tankos, James Fatlin, and here comes that slowly but hard charging Jonathan Smith, trying to save a little bit of rubber, and John Michael Bryant trying to run down the race leader to get his lap back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel after having some mix-ups going on the pit road. Meanwhile, this has been the battle right here, especially when we were underneath our break. Blake Hochschild and Nicholas Maynard going at it back here for this 8th and 9th place spot. Nicholas Maynard currently the 3rd place running spot. No, excuse me. 4th place running. 3rd place running spot for the championship 4 contender. As Jerry Powers is eating into this gap ever so slightly. Jerry Powers, seen him overslide his box on the pit road during the first green flag pit stop cycle. Really shot Jerry Powers in the foot, and he came back. He's currently running in the 10th place spot right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll try to keep us updated all night long, bringing you the developing stories inside of the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Meanwhile, Corey Tessner into the outside wall once more through turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, talked to Showtime Chase Johnson before tonight's race began, and he told me, like I said earlier, the 1.5 mile ovals were where they really dominated all year long. Chase Johnson, 2 races won on the regular season, looking for this championship to complete his crown jewel. He has the championship in the Cup Series, the championship in the Truck Series. Just needs this Madness Racing League Xfinity Series one, and he doesn't have it currently right now, but Showtime Chase Johnson running in the 2nd place spot, first in the championship standings. If he can stay where it's at right now, the championship will go home tonight with Chase Johnson, as he's currently outscored his opponents if he doesn't win the race. But winning the race could go ahead and already just lock that up for you. Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos talked to him before the race. He's been 20 years old for about 2 years now, so he'll have to change the driver updated card up to 21 years old. So he is eligible to drink here. Talked to Kevin Tankos before the race. He talked to Budweiser on board coming down here to Miami before the start of tonight's event. Kevin Tankos said that if they were to win tonight's championship race, it would be a bad day to be a beer, especially a Budweiser beer, as he has all of the fans in the stand here today. They were giving out free beer for making the championship race here for Kevin Tankos. You see him right now on the wheel on that race car, not having to saw back and forth too much. Kevin Tankos says he likes where the car is right now. He's just waiting for the pit call. He knows when to bring it back down in that number 4 Chevy Camaro for his 2nd and final probably green flag pit stop of the night as we continue to work down. About 50 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Kevin Tanko's running second in the championship spot right now. Nicholas Maynard running third in the championship spot right now in this Penske Body Armor 02. Talked to Nicholas Maynard before the race. Nicholas Maynard won here at the Homestead Miami Speedway in a playoff race in the Cup Series to make the championship race there. So Nicholas Maynard definitely knows where it's at. We got one trouble down the back straightaway. That's Alfonso Claudio. Trouble. Caution flag is out. Whoa, caution flag late here, 69 laps into tonight's event for Alfonso Claudio. Smoking up the back straightaway. That's the Season 1 champion. We'll back that ass up here for an instant replay. Alfonso Claudio, no. Up in smoke down here on the back straightaway, and whoever gave him that candy, it has expired. Alfonso Claudio up in smoke here down the back straightaway. It looks like he spun for a while and has slapped that outside wall. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay on the Madness Racing League. The first caution flag comes 68 laps, now 69 into tonight's event. And it's for the number 85 Season 1 champion of Alfonso Claudio. Tries to lock it down here. Pow! Hard on the inside wall. A huge shot there for Alfonso Claudio. We'll back that ass up one more time and ride with Alfonso Claudio as he absolutely has a sledgehammer shot to the inside wall here. Tries to lock it down and just slides for a day. Bang! Harder to the inside. Safer barrier for Alfonso Claudio. That will register the caution flag, and thank God he's able to keep it off of the racetrack. But Alfonso Claudio is absolutely tore up here in Miami. The wheel's not even straight, and that's probably going to do it here for Alfonso Claudio for at least a chance to defend the race win for his championship, since he can't defend the championship. Alfonso Claudio in trouble here late. Back on the racetrack. He'll have to park it and get a tow. Back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, flying about 8,000 feet above the racetrack with Billy the Blimp Driver, trying to bring you some action-packed racing shots. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody's behind Peter the Pace Car now. Well, looks like pit road is open here for the Madness Racing League. So several guys, I was about to say several guys you should probably see, go ahead and bring it on down on the pit road and call it a day here. It's going to be Ty Robertson leading on by Chase Johnson, James Fallon, John Smith, Corey Tessner, Nicholas Maynard, Blake Koschchild, and Jerry Powers. So it looks like everybody on the racetrack, that's Championship 4, will bring it down on the pit road. Here comes Kevin Tankos and Terry Hughes Jr. So we'll see how things shake out here on pit road. Everybody pulls into their box. Showtime Chase Johnson to pull his box. So with Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard back there. It looks like gas only for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. That's the only one they got going up. So Championship 4, Jerry Powers will pull into his box this time without any kind of incident. So 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Jerry Powers. Chase Johnson completes his pit stop. He'll get gas and 4 fresh Goodyear tires. He's up and off of pit road. He'll beat James Fallon. No, James Fallon will get him by just an inch off pit road. That was one hell of a battle. And several guys still stuck on pit road like Kevin Tankos, Nicholas Maynard, Jerry Powers, the other 3 contestants for the championship. Who's going to win in the battle off pit road? Give it to Kevin Tankos. He'll get it over Nicholas Maynard. Jerry Powers trying to get a little bit of damage fixed up on that race car. Terry Hughes Jr. same as well. Kyle Fallon will pull into his box. Kyle Fallon says, you guys got to do something to this race car. Looks like they're going to try to take the backpacker out of the right rear here. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the Jim Fallon Racing number 59. So that'll leave us underneath the caution flag here, underneath the break. So John Michael Bryant's going to stay out on the racetrack here to take the waiver round. John Michael Bryant will be the lucky dog here as well. So he will get both laps back in one as the rest of the field goes in pits. So bark, 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 bark for John Michael Bryant. He is the first lucky dog up tonight. He'll work his way back around, get back on the lead lap. and we'll be back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like Ty Robertson's going to be the race leader down here on the bottom side. We're getting ready to go back racing here in the championship race for the Xfinity Series for the Madness Racing League. And if you're new here, cautions breed cautions here in the Madness Racing League. So we see what we got in store here. 72 laps are complete. 120 are scheduled for the book. James Found to throw the block over Jonathan Smith. They're off back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Diving back down into turns 1 and 2, ripping through the gears. James Fountain will try the top side of the racetrack here through turns 1 and 2. Everybody's able to handle themselves quite well. Robertson from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack. Everybody's able to keep it out of the wall down the back straightaway here. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Everybody's not going to give each other an inch here. You best believe it. Look at these folks here. Sean Smith on the outside. Kevin Tanko's on the inside. What will you do if you're one of these championship 4 contestants? Blake Hochschild goes around. Will he keep it locked down, or will the caution flag come out? We'll find out here. It looks like caution flag is flown. Caution flag is out here for Blake Hochschild. He is parked down here on the bottom side. He's trying to refire that number 2 Toyota Supra. We'll back that ass up here with Blake Hochschild as he is turned backwards here on the front stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Hochschild really started turning around, ladies and gentlemen, his season here on the back half of the year. With these long runs, as we started to get some green flag racing on the back half of this season, Blake Hochschild really started to navigate his way through the field. Got Nicholas Maynard right behind him. Was there any contact made? No. Nicholas Maynard on the brake. Blake Hochschild going back around. We'll get another look at it here, see if Nicholas Maynard actually got a piece of that or not. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like Terry Hughes Jr. might have had a piece of that one as well. Heading into turns 3 and 4, Blake Hochschild on the middle side here. Nicholas Maynard pulling up right behind him. Maybe the packing of dirty air from the number 02 got the number 2 of Blake Hochschild loose here, but I don't look like I see any contact made there when Blake Hochschild gets loose, but he's able to hold on to it and take it around, though. Terry Hughes Jr. gets big loose up here as well, but he's able to hold on to that race car and keep it straight. But Blake Hochschild, on the other hand, trying to refire this thing. Blake Hochschild finally... Does he get it refired? Yeah, there it is. Yes, Blake Hochschild gets it refired up here. It's turned back around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and up and going. No damage to the number 2 of Blake Hochschild. Not sure if he just got loose by the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard or he just stepped on it there. Blake Hochschild, no damage. He'll refire that race car, get it up and going. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang! Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are underneath the caution flag for the second time here tonight in the main event. Scheduled for 120 laps here. It's probably one of the longest ones we've had so far here for the Xfinity Series, around a 1.5 mile racetrack. Ty Robertson's the race leader. Chase Johnson has moved up to his second place spot. Chase Johnson running for that championship here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll keep you updated all night long as we get ready to figure out what the hell's about to happen here. Will we get the one to go racing, or will we have a couple more takers down here on pit road? Still one more fresh set of sticker Goodyear tires on the pit. John Michael Bryant will be the lucky dog this time around. Woof, 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 woof. For John Michael Bryant, back on the lead lap here. So the Boogeyman's got some shaking and baking to do to get himself back up around to the front of the pack here if he wants a chance at winning it tonight. John Michael Bryant will bring it down on the pit road this time. Take the black flag for entering a closed pit. But for being the lucky dog, John Michael Bryant was going to the back anyway. So he'll just come down and service that number 23. Try something different. So we'll keep an eye on the Boogeyman as he brings it down on the pit road. We'll give you all the full coverage of his stop. John Michael Bryant telling the guys that this is our chance right here. Go ahead and jack up the air pressures. Let it trend towards loose. I think I can hold on to it. John Michael Bryant will pull into his box. They're going to jack up the right side of the race car. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a half wedge adjustment out the back end of the number 23 Toyota Supra. And John Michael Bryant drops the gas and he's off. So John Michael Bryant finally 76 laps into tonight's event, back on the lead lap here with a chance to make something shake. Blake Koschchild, I'm hearing from the admin, will go to the back of the pack here for some odd reason as he is camped out behind the rest of the pack here. Maybe Nicholas Maynard spooked him, who knows. Peter the Pace car, though, has the lights off on top of that race car. We're getting ready to go back racing here in the championship race. About 35 laps left. I cannot do math. About 52 laps to go here, 54 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. As I grew up in the state of South Carolina, the education isn't the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here for the championship race for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Ty Robertson jumps back on the gas. We're back green here. Ladies and gentlemen, heading back towards turn 1 here. The camera flashes are rolling in the air. Peter the Pace car is off, and we are up and rolling, ripping back through the gears. Ty Robinson down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to hold off championship contender Chase Johnson. They'll work their way through turns 1 and 2. Off the exit of 2, it's going to be Chase Johnson trying to make something shake. They'll have to pull right into the back end of Ty Robinson down the back straightaway, headed turn towards 3. They'll head down into turns 3 and 4. The number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. trying to sell up the middle side of the racetrack here. Trying to keep attention on this one right here. Terry Hughes Jr. trying to make something shake on the bottom side. He'll get big loose there to Nicholas Maynard. Terry Hughes Jr. 3 wide with Blake Koschchild. Blake Koschchild contacts up here. Trouble. Contacts made. Caution flag. Corey Tesner heavily damaged here. Jerry Powers to the championship 4 damaged here as well. Blake Koschchild destroyed. John Michael Bryant in it as well. We'll back that ass up here. Contact has been made here across the front stretch, and trouble is all over the place. We will back that ass up here for a instant replay. We were back here trying to figure out what the hell is happening with all the checkup and what was going on here. Corey Tesner's around over here through turns 1 and 2. Blake Koschchild's involved. Corey Tesner hard on the inside, safer barrier. We'll back it up here, take a great look at it, see what the hell happened here. John Smith, Corey Riptide Tesner, and Jerry Powers battling across the front stretch here. Corey Tesner gets a shove to the back end of John Smith. John Smith gets loose, hits Jerry Powers. Corey Tesner hard on the inside wall. Bang, a huge shot there for Blake Koschchild. Wow. Championship implications here. Corey Tesner's tore up on the bottom side of the racetrack after a huge shot with that inside safer barrier. Will ride out the front nose of Corey Riptide Tesner. See if we can't see what he's seen. Looks like he gave a little bit of a tap into the back end of John Smith here. Heading through turns 3 and 4. Corey Tesner will give the bump to John Smith. They'll get loose. That'll send Jerry Powers down on the bottom side. And a huge shot there for both of these race car drivers. Jerry Powers might be done here for a championship spot. But Corey Tesner rolling up underneath their living room window. Tore up here, and it is not even running inside of that number 8 Chase Johnson machine. Jerry Powers, though, tore up as well as Blake Koschchild. Wow, that quickly, Blake Koschchild. Significant damage on the number 2 Paint House machine. But more importantly, Jerry Powers, the championship 4 contestant. Trouble there at the end. Terry Hughes Jr. will scrape by the mere inches of his teeth, and so will John Michael Bryant. But the biggest guy with damage is going to be Blake Koschchild and a tore-up Corey Riptide Tesner. But the most disappointing one is the no mercy closeout pass of Jerry Powers. He'll bring it down pit road to address the damage. We'll address the rest of these commercial breaks and everything when we return. Jerry Powers has a lot of work to do. Corey Tesner placed on the aggressive driving list 2 weeks ago, and he looks like he might have a contact. He might be going to take a trip to the Madness Racing League Hall. We're back in just a moment. Back down here on the main broadcast for the Woody Scoot Racing channel, you see several guys down here on pit road addressing their race cars, trying to get them patched up here for possibly the final run of the night. John Smith to pull in. Looks like it's going to be gas only for Jonathan Smith here, so he'll top off with Sunoco Racing fuel. John Michael Bryan will come back down to see what the damage is on that number 23 machine. Terry Hughes Jr. says, I'm going to need a fresh pair of underwear and a brand new driver suit. Keep the pit reporters away from me at the end of this one, as I have messed all over myself, nearly escaping that wreck right there. Jerry Powers trying to meet minimum speed here with a caved in left front on that number 99 machine. Terry Hughes Jr. still stuck down here on pit road. Corey Tesner will hop out of that race car here, and he will take the mandatory trip to the Madness Racing League. Admin Holler not happy with Corey Tesner there. Terry Hughes Jr. up and out of pit road there. The back end of that Oreo Ritz machine doesn't look like it has much damage, if any, as pit road is still busy down here for a couple of cars. Looks like Ty Robinson's going to be the race leader here. He'll be down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, just trying to splash around that fuel cell, make sure he has enough gas in it. John Smith will re-bring it down pit road, as well as Jerry Powers here with a couple more laps. Looks like pit road is going to close this next time around, so we'll see how things shake out here for Jonathan Smith. What does he have up his sleeve here? Just seen him come down and take gas only. Maybe Jonathan Smith second guessing here, or maybe what tires might do here. Will pull into his box. His Engine 4 Nap Daddy Racing team will jump the wall here. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires here for Jonathan Smith, as he had it unchecked on his first stop down pit road. So that's a killer here for John Smith. They'll send him to the back of the pack, possibly to where he could have been. Jerry Powers will pull back down on the pit road here, and he looks like they're going to take damage only for the Jerry Powers machine, as he's trying to get back out on the racetrack here for a chance to compete at the championship here. Blake Hochschild will climb for that race car. That'll do it for the number 80, for the number 2, of Blake Hochschild here, and that'll end his night in that Toyota Supra. So it's going to be Robertson, Johnson, Tankos, Big Country Kyle Fountain, James Fountain, the little brother, Nicholas Maynard, Terry Hughes Jr., John Michael Bryant, and John Smith, the remaining 9 here in the Championship 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Championship 4 racing, 3 championship contenders on the racetrack. Jerry Powers still down on pit road trying to get the damage fixed, but he won't beat the pace car route this time. We're getting ready to go back racing here for the championship race. 81 laps are complete. Ty Robinson will wait the whole length of the restart zone, try to catch him sleeping, and he'll do just that. He'll clear the number 5 of Showtime Chase Johnson, sleeping in the restart zone here, diving down into turns 1 and 2. Ty Robinson will sneak down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Kevin Tankos will get the advantage, looks like, over Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson will fall back down here to the 3rd place spot, so it's going to be Tankos, Johnson, Maynard, how they run in the Championship 4. Maynard back here in the 7th place spot, as he's got some true work to do if he wants a chance at the championship spot here tonight. Meanwhile, the front 4 will let to take the bottom side of the racetrack. Kevin Tankos will battle a little bit of a loose condition there. We're riding on board with the first championship contender in spot right now, but he's got Chase Johnson and that number 5 charging all over the back end of him here. Chase Johnson knows that he is 1 championship short from sweeping all 3 in the championship series here in the Madness Racing League. Down the back straightaway, Kevin Tankos will make the trip down south here to Florida, all the way from New Jersey. You're going to absolutely have to take it from Kevin Tankos. See Kevin Tankos battle Jonathan Smith a couple weeks ago at the Iowa Speedway for a chance of going to the playoffs for the Next Gen Cup Series. And Kevin Tankos played defense all night long, led 80-something laps there to the end. Contact was made, but Kevin Tankos redeemed himself at Kentucky in the Truck Series with a race win there. So Kevin Tankos knows he'll be racing for a championship for the Truck Series for the Madness Racing League as they kick off next week on Thursday night, as I got my days all kinds of mixed up here. Meanwhile, Chase Johnson, 2-time MRL championship winner here, and the I-85 Asphalt Series, both seasons of the late models. So Chase Johnson definitely knows where victory lane is and how to get there. Question is, can he get around Kevin Tankos? Ladies and gentlemen, how it works here in the Madness Racing League for the playoffs. Win and you are in. And that's what these guys have done, majority of them, to make to the playoffs. Same situation here tonight for the championship. Win the race and you are the Season 2 champion, and or outscore your opponents. Not the greatest format, we know, but everything has been completely revamped and revitalized for Season 3. A new point system, a new playoff format coming right your way a couple weeks from now when we debut the Season 3 for the Xfinity Series. Make sure you're sticking around. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss it there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving what you're seeing on your screen for the final time here tonight as we close in the final 34 laps, make sure you go ahead and screenshot the code on your screen for the Madness Racing League and get yourself added in today. We would love to see you folks out here for a Season 3. Continue to grow the field. If you want a chance out here for the race for the championship or hear me stumble and fuck up your name a couple times, you found the right place to do it. Diving down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody's all over each other this time. Nobody's really able to pull themselves away here for the race lead or any of that great nonsense off of exit of turn 2. Kevin Tankos has a little bit of work here from Showtime Chase Johnson. What will Showtime Chase Johnson do with that run off of turns 1 and 2? He'll like to take the top side of the racetrack to keep that momentum on the outside of Kevin Tankos. But Kevin Tankos trying to play the smart card here, take the bottom part of the racetrack, save a little bit of Goodyear extra tire, and play a little bit of defense and pull right back up in front of the number 5 of Showtime Chase Johnson. So it's going to be Robertson, Tankos, and Johnson fighting it out for the top 3 here. Ty Robertson, ladies and gentlemen. Part timing here on the Madness Racing League, so if he wins tonight's race, it means absolutely nothing. The battle for the championship is right here in the second place spot. Kevin Tankos, Chase Johnson. Right now, Kevin Tankos has the advantage over Chase Johnson simply because he's running in front of him. None of these guys, none of the championship 4 guys have led a single lap here tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So that means Kevin Tankos right now would get 35 points for finishing in the second place spot. Chase Johnson would get 34 for finishing in the third place spot. But James Fallon's looking to make something shake here. So I would highly doubt I would see James Fallon pass his teammate Chase Johnson for a spot, a position that would cost another point to Chase Johnson. However, though, ladies and gentlemen, with several ways to score bonus points here, the hard charging, the pole, the most laps led, all that great goodness here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, anything is possible. From what I'm gathering here mathematically, if you did not go pit that previous caution beforehand and top off on Sunoco Racing Fuel like we seen Kevin Tankos, Ty Robertson, and a lot of these other guys do, you do not have enough Sunoco Racing Fuel to get yourself to the end of tonight's main event. We may have one more green flag pit stop in hand here tonight, and whoever may or does save the most Sunoco Racing Fuel might have a chance in winning it here tonight. Listening in to the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, who is racing for this championship here tonight at Miami Homestead Speedway. His first one for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series, competed in the Truck Series and the Cup Series Championship race. He is 0 for 2, looking for his first one here tonight. He'll wait to take the top side of the racetrack in front of cousin Big Country Kyle Fallon. Nicholas Maynard said 11 where the race car is at right now, but I really don't think I have enough to run down the guys in front of me. If we're going to win this thing, it's going to have to be all pure straight pit strategy, as Nicholas Maynard has an extra set of Goodyear tires laying in the pits right now. So we see Nicholas Maynard take gas only under the previous caution flag. So 2 sets of Goodyear tires in the pits for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. How does he cycle them out and use them? That's still to be determined here. But if we were to catch a rate lace caution, does Nicholas Maynard have the strategy to win the championship here tonight? We'll have to figure it out here. With a little over 28 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's anybody's ball game. Kevin Tankos really starting to pull the weight out from Showtime Chase Johnson, and that's the battle for the championship here in the Madness Racing League. Nicholas Maynard only 1 spot behind James Fallon to Chase Johnson and these boys. So it's anybody's ball game. It's James Fallon slaps the outside wall. Nicholas Maynard on the charge here, trying to run down to the front pack of these guys up here. Nicholas Maynard really hard down on the brake there, slowing down tremendously. Looking at the guys in front of him, though, he'll run in the 5th place spot right now. We'll see how things shake off here. John Smith currently in the 8th place spot right now, but he's got the freshest Goodyear rubber on the racetrack, and he knows he is topped off on Sunoco Racing Fuel, so he has enough to get to the end here. Listening in to the number 13 Premier Setups machine, his crew chief is telling him 39% through the corners. Hold off on the gas. Here comes Nicholas Maynard down pit road. Was just watching the number 02 and listening in. He told you guys if he were going to win it, it was going to have to be on strategy here. So with 25 laps remaining in tonight's event, Nicholas Maynard will come down pit road, throw a fresh set of Goodyear tires on the car, and see how it goes. He'll slide into his box. No tires checked for Nicholas Maynard. No, what a mistake for the kid. It looks like it had to be gas only. He forgot to put tires, and he'll pull off slowly because he knows he done wrong here. Killer mistake for Nicholas Maynard. He knows he has done wrong here. Forgot to check the tires. No, gas only for the number 02. That's going to cost him a lap here to Ty Robertson. And no tires to make up for it here. Nicholas Maynard, that's going to cost him the strategy here. That might cost him a chance at the championship. That is killer for Nicholas Maynard. Forgets to check the tires. He'll be on old tires trying to run down the race leader. And let me tell you something, that's not going to happen here. Nicholas Maynard's championship hopes are up in smoke here. Down a lap. He'll have to outrun Jerry Powers for the lucky dog position right now just to get the lucky dog. But Jerry Powers has a fast race car currently working his way through the field. But Kevin Tanko's another championship contender slapping the outside wall here with 25 laps to go. With 25 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, I will throw you up side by side for a couple of the blimp battles. I am going to wet my whistle. This is insanely going to be, for sure, one of the craziest final 25 laps here in the Madness Racing League. As James Fountain will bring it down on the pit road. I don't even have time to take a break. I'll call the pit stop for him. The number 24 of James Fountain brings it down pit road. Says, guys, it's been one hell of a year so far. If we're going to try something, got to try it now. 24 laps in, James Fountain will bring it down. He wants 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 1 can of Sunoco Racing Fuel to try to keep the load light here and pull into his number 1 pit stop here. And James Fountain's going to try to make the cycle stretch here and try to bring it back to him and win tonight's main event and spoil the championship party for these guys. James Fountain, 4 fresh Sunoco Racing, 4 tires, and 1 can of Sunoco Racing Fuel. And here comes the older brother of Kyle Fountain. Cousin Big Country will bring it down as well. Cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain related to James Fountain, but they do not race for the same team here. James Fountain up and off of pit road. Kyle Fountain bringing it down pit road. So opposites do attract here. He'll pull through Nicholas Maynard's box, slide into his. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Kyle Fountain. 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Do not touch the adjustments on this machine. Kyle Fountain says he's liking how it drives right now. Currently sitting in the going to be 9th place spot for Kyle. 7th place spot for Kyle Fountain. So he'll lose a lap through the pit cycle here through Ty Robertson, and that's going to be everybody that we've seen so far up to this point. While the blimp cam is up here, we'll keep an eye on this front 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The battle for the race lead is absolutely starting to shake up here with 19 laps to go here. Here's tonight's finals keys of the race. Who has saved those tires? Who has ripped the fits the best? Prepared for season 3 like James Fountain has as he comes down pit road for 4 fresh Goodyear tires on a different strategy stop. He's preparing himself for season 3, wanting to try to find something different for next season. And finally, strategy. Currently right now, the fastest car on the racetrack is Jonathan Smith in his number 13 Premier Setup Chevy Camaro. And if you have been tuning in since about lap 28, 29, 28, 29 laps to go, excuse me, when we had that caution flag. Jonathan Smith comes down pit road, gets 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, forgets to check the tires, has to re-bring it down pit road. They'll gas it up again to make sure he's topped off, and 4 fresh tires for Jonathan Smith. So Jonathan Smith right now is, we know, besides guys like Nicholas Maynard and Chase Johnson, we've seen pit underneath the underneath the fast and loud, are good to go on gas, as well as James Fountain. Somebody like John Michael Bryant trying to save every drop of Sunoco Racing fuel inside of this number 23 machine. John Michael Bryant has came from 2 laps down tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway in this Toyota Supra, currently running 4th through the pit cycle. And Kevin Tankos, the Championship 4 contender, will call it quits off of pit road. He'll bring it down. That'll put, looks like gonna be everybody. Chase Johnson, Nicholas Maynard, and Kevin Tankos all right back down, a lap down here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Straight strategy, still anybody's ball game here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel when it comes for the championship. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 1 can of Sunoco Racing fuel for Kevin Tankos. That was the plan all along, was to try to run it long here so they could take as less gas as possible. It's now the race leader of Ty Robinson will call it quits and bring it down pit road as well. Ty Robertson says, I feel like we may have ran a lap or two too much here on the gas. He said you're going to need an extremely fast pit stop here, possibly 2 tires only for the number 9 of Ty Robertson if they want to keep the race lead here, as the cycle's really starting to be detrimental here. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant will drive right on by pit road here and move up to the 2nd place spot. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel for Ty Robinson. They're going to play the long game here and try to ride out these 15 laps and hope and pray for somebody runs out of gas. Meanwhile, Jonathan Smith has redeemed the race lead here, and he is currently running away from John Michael Bryant. Jonathan Smith, the winner 2 weeks ago here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel in the Next Gen Cup Series at the Iowa Speedway, heading down the back straightaway now as he will pass Ty Robertson. Ty Robertson has the fresher set of Goodyear tires, so he should be able to pull right back on by Jonathan Smith and get that lap back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. So a hellacious pit stop call there for the number 9. It'll work out just perfect as he'll pull out right back in front of the number 13. Here comes Kyle Fountain and Cousin Big Country. Kyle Fountain looking to get that lap back here, unlap himself. He's back on the lead lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. But the battle for the race lead is going to be Jonathan Smith, John Michael Bryant, and Terry Hughes Jr. trying to run it long here on the long run and try to keep Sunoco Racing fuel inside of that race car. Jonathan Smith being told by the admin 13 laps to go. And ladies and gentlemen, the crew chief telling Jonathan Smith, I need you to save me a half a lap of gas here. We're not going to be able to make it at this rate. Nicholas Maynard bringing it back down pit road. Killer pit stop last time around for Nick Maynard. He forgot to check the tires. They had to take Sunoco Racing fuel only. He had no tires to be able to go around on and try to make up the distance. So he'll come back down now and throw on this final good set of Goodyear fresh tires with only 12 laps to go. I don't believe Nicholas Maynard's going to have the time to make it up. That's probably going to cost Nicholas Maynard the championship here tonight. That bad pit stop earlier. Currently right now, Chase Johnson is in front of Kevin Tankos as they run. This is the battle for the championship right here. Kevin Tankos needs to finish in front of Chase Johnson, and Chase Johnson needs to finish in front of Kevin Tankos. Whoever finishes in front of the other one will win the championship here tonight. No laps led for a single championship or playoff guy here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first ever. People like Jonathan Smith, John Michael Bryant, Terry Hughes Jr., James Fountain, and especially this guy right here, Ty Robertson, who has dominated tonight's race up to this point. 73 laps led for the driver from Coleman, Alabama, the underrated driver indeed. He'll look to work underneath the 99 closeout bats of Jerry Powers, who's rested a lap down right now, the same as Nicholas Maynard, but he's currently in front of Nicholas Maynard. But we'll see how things shake out here as the run continues to run. Remember, guys, cautions breed cautions here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, and Kevin Tankos is only back bumpers away from Chase Johnson. It's anybody's ball game. 10 laps to go this time around. Jonathan Smith on the other side of the racetrack here, so winning the race is almost out of the picture, but it's never say never here on the Moody Scooter Racing channel. John Smith, John Michael Bryant, and Terry Hughes Jr. round out the top three. Terry Hughes Jr. looks like he's got the clutch in, coasting down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, riding on board with John Michael Bryant as he tries to run down Jonathan Smith. You even hear John Michael Bryant playing with the throttle a little bit, trying to hold on to this race car and save a little bit of Sunoco Racing fuel. So guys that have ran long here, do they have enough, or do guys like Chase Johnson and Kevin Tankos have enough Sunoco Racing fuel and tires to lap themselves way back around the field and catch the front half of the pack? James Fountain, I'm bringing them through the front stretch here. 8 laps to go. Chase Johnson slowly getting reeled in by Kevin Tankos. The battle for the race lead is not going anywhere. Jonathan Smith is long gone, light years ahead of everybody else on some old Goodyear rubber and fumes of Sunoco Racing fuel. But when it comes to this battle for this championship, it's right here. Kevin Tankos, Chase Johnson, the number 5 and the number 4. How coincidental. Right here is where it comes down to. 7 laps to go. Whoever finishes in front of the other one will win the championship here for the Madness Racing League. 7 laps to go. Chase Johnson, 2-time race winner this season. Kevin Tankos, only race he has won is the race to get him here tonight to the championship race. He's all over the back bumper of Chase Johnson. The battle is on down the back straightaway. Kevin Tankos will look left, he'll look right, and he'll think better of it. He'll pull right behind the number 5 is Showtime Chase Johnson, and they'll both work underneath the lap guy of James Fountain. What will the teammate of James Fountain do for Chase Johnson? He'll move right up out of the way and won't even interfere with him. But here comes Ty Robinson on that pit strategy call, trying to run back down up here for this top 4 spot. 6 laps to go here on the Moody Scooter Racing channel, and Chase Johnson is trying to hold off Kevin Tankos, who will move to the top side of the racetrack. They'll battle door to door. Contacts made down the back straightaway. Kevin Tankos has the nose in the 3 and 4. But Chase Johnson will sail back down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Kevin Tankos, Chase Johnson, they both know that this is all it's going to take right here for the championship. Ty Robinson trying to keep up with somebody. Door to door down the front stretch here. The crowd is absolutely going crazy, but Kevin Tankos will clear himself down into turns 1 and 2. Working the exit of turn 2, Terry Hughes Jr. slowly being reeled in by these 3rd, 4th, and 5th place cars. The battle for the championship is on down the back straightaway. It is anybody's ball game here in the final corners and the final laps of tonight's event. Make sure you're signing up for Season 3. This could be you next year. Kevin Tankos has distance between him and Chase Johnson. Ty Robertson's all over the back bumper here with 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Ladies and gentlemen, does Kevin Tankos have enough left here late with 4 laps to go? No caution flag, please. Kevin Tankos looking to win his first Madness Racing League championship late here on the back half at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Does he have enough? Just trying to stay out of trouble. He'll take the top side of the racetrack here and try to hold off Ty Robertson. Ty Robertson will have to get off the gas more than he'll like. Chase Johnson said, I'm plowing up the racetrack here. I think we have chattered out the right rear tire. Chase Johnson losing touch to Kevin Tankos here. 3 laps to go on the Moody Scooter Racing channel. Jonathan Smith from his crew chief in the box saying John Michael Bryant is about 2.8 seconds behind you. 2 laps to go at the line this time around. I need you to come off of that gas here. We are right on our fuel limit point here. You need to save a little bit of gas. John Michael Bryant charging here from the 2nd place spot late. John Michael Bryant hasn't won a race since the first race we have ever done here on the Madness Racing League for the Xfinity Series. John Michael Bryant won at Daytona to kick off Season 1 and hasn't been back to victory lane since. Does he have enough here tonight? 2 laps down to 2nd place. John Michael Bryant trying to hold every bit together here. Does he have enough Sunoco Racing fuel? John Smith sputtering here through turns 3 and 4. White flag is in the air for Jonathan Smith. He'll see it presented by AFLglobal.com for the championship race. Kevin Tankos has sailed away from Chase Johnson here down the back straightaway. In front stretch, he'll see the white flag this time around and a chance at the championship. Meanwhile, Jonathan Smith has played the strategy excellent, comes down pit road after unchecking the tires to make sure he gets them, has to pit twice, but the cycle will work for him, and he is able to hold on to the race lead, saving up Sunoco Racing fuel. Jonathan Smith will come off of turns 3 and 4, and he will win tonight's championship race and spoil the party for the championship guys. But it'll be Kevin Tankos working his way off turns 3 and 4 to come across the line to win the championship here for Season 2. Kevin Tankos wins the championship here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2. After outrunning Chase Johnson there late on the pit strategy call, he came within the final 7-8 laps, folks. What a battle from Chase Johnson all year long. What a hell of a run for Kevin Tankos and that number 4 Budweiser machine. He'll win the championship here tonight. And a hard-fought day for Nicholas Maynard. Pit strategy will kill him as he forgets to check the tires, and Jerry Powers falls victim to Corey Riptide Tesner earlier on tonight's event. But it's Kevin Tankos winning the championship here for Season 2 for the Madness Racing League, and Jonathan Smith will head on down the Ruoff Mortgage victory lane as he picks up the win and spoils the party. What a great pit call, and his driver team owner Terry Hughes Jr. will come down here and celebrate with him. Kevin Tankos will burn it down here as he is your Madness Racing League Season 2 champion. Kevin Tankos is going to soak this one up big time, guys, as the Budweiser boys continue to carry the big pool of Budweiser beers down here to the front stretch. Kevin Tankos will turn it around, continue to burn it down for you fans, as he is the Madness Racing League Season 2 champion. And we got to show a little bit of love to Jonathan Smith as he picks up the victory here tonight to spoil the party, to even let all of this happen to begin with. Great run from John Michael Bryant, but Kevin Tankos will continue to burn it down. We'll be back in just a moment with the driver interviews portion part of tonight's event. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Season 2. Back in just a moment.
The music, I wanna take you away. Let's escape into the music. TJ,
Bang bang, welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have just wrapped up Season 2's championship race here for the Xfinity Series, and let me tell you something, folks, it came down to the absolute final few corners. Kevin Tankos was able to get around Chase Johnson for the championship there late to finish in the 3rd place spot, while Chase Johnson drops another one behind Ty Robinson and Terry Hughes through the pit cycle. So it was going to be Kevin Tankos either way, but we got a pit reporter down there with the number 4 of Kevin Tankos, our champion here in Season 2. Let's see what he had to say. Go ahead.
Down here in Victory Lane at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the Season 2 Xfinity Series Championship for the MRL, that's the Madness Racing League. And ladies and gentlemen, it's finally official. We have our championship winner here. It's the number 4 of Kevin Tankos and his Budweiser Chevy Camaro. Kevin, as we got you right here on the front stretch tonight, you're able to pick up the victory, but the championship, if you're not able to pick up the victory in the race, you got a P3 here tonight, able to cycle your way up through the pit strategy. Just kind of walk us through your season all year long. As you were able to come in here tonight and snudge by 3 points.
Yeah, first off, I want to say big thanks to everybody else in the field. I mean, everybody that's here is what makes this happen, and it's just the most fun racing on the service. So if you're watching back at home, definitely get yourself in here because this is some really great racing. big thanks to the boys at 811, Rush Motorsports, and of course the race winner here, John Smith at Nap Daddy Racing, for making this awesome paint scheme. We were able to bring it home. Its first run at the Roval got us into the playoffs, and then a big clutch at Richmond was just a lot of great work and a lot of grinding. Definitely put the practice in and got the result. Shout out to Nick, Chase, and Jerry. They really had a great race. Wish Jerry could have had a little more luck, but definitely next year it'll be a really good matchup. So big thanks to everybody again. Gonna go celebrate pretty hard here.
Kevin Penko's the Season 2 champion here in the Madness Racing League. Now we'll scoot down here with the Rudolph Mortgage Victory Lane, where the number 13, Jonathan Smith, will pick up the victory here tonight in Homestead. Jonathan, you call out the car here. Go ahead. You told me before the race that Homestead was one of your favorite race tracks, and you certainly said that here tonight. And kind of walk us through what you had to go there at the end, listening on the radio, trying to coast it on home here from a victory. John Michael Bryant sneaking in there in the back, just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, this car was a lot looser than I thought coming out here, but I really thought that I was going to settle for a 4th place, 5th place until that caution happened. Pitted it on the first caution flag lap, came back in on the second caution flag just to top off, and just kind of clutched it all the way through to sneak out a win here. Not the most flashy way to grab a win, but worked out for me tonight. Not really a big strategy guy on that regard on pit strategy, but hey, we take what we can get. But congrats to Kevin Penko's on that win. He's worked hard for it all season. Chase, Jerry, Nick making a good run up there. I apologize to Jerry. I got bumped from behind on the front stretch and got into him, so I know I messed up his run there, but I know he would have been up there at the front if that weren't from getting bumped from behind and into him. But, yeah, big shout out to 811, 8XI Racing. Put me out here, Nap Daddy Racing, Engine 4 Coffee, Premier Setup Shots. Thanks to the admin for putting us on. Hopefully we can get a championship next year.
Jonathan Smith will go from the bottom of the playoff standings and eliminated 2 weeks ago, to victory lane here tonight in Miami. We'll scoot down here to the number 23 Toyota Supra of John Michael Bryant. John, you got to walk us through your season and your race here tonight. A great strategy call. You come from 2 laps down to finish in the second spot. Just kind of walk us through it as you're teaming up with a new partner next year coming into Season 3. Kind of walk us through your entire season, especially the race here tonight.
Yeah, overall, the Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra's been a good car this year. Financially, it's just tough to keep a one-car team out here, so we're going to get together with Kyle Fountain. We're going to, see what we can come up with next season, and hopefully we get back in the playoffs again next year, and hopefully we can be in the Final Four next year and do something with that. As for the strategy tonight, ran it long on the first run and went gas only and just tried to make that survive to have a set in the pits for late in the race if there was a caution. Went a lap down there, took it down pit road and missed the entrance pit road, had to put it in reverse here and get down there and ended up going 2 laps down from that. Stayed out after the caution, got a lap back, and then just staying our laps to be able to get back on the lead lap, and we pitted and coasted the corners, riding the clutch a little bit. Didn't know if that was going to be enough and if we were going to be able to maintain enough speed to stay up there in the top 2, top 3. I knew I was going to be racing Jonathan Ford because we pitted together, and we were good.
And that's the number 23 machine of John Michael Bryant, who'll get a podium spot here tonight, knocking on the back door of a victory. Let's go down here to the P4 finisher tonight. That's Ty Robertson. Ty, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Homestead and your little bit season that you had here as you joined midway through the season. So you weren't playoff eligible, but you'll be at 73 laps here tonight. Just kind of walk us through what your race car experienced here and what you've experienced so far here in the Madness Racing League.
Yeah, these few races have been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot for next season. Hopefully I can get in the Final Four next season and have a chance. I learned a lot tonight. Good to know I'm pretty good at this track. I wasn't sure what to expect coming into the race, honestly. But it turned out I had the dominant car, so that's nice. Great champ win for Kevin there, and great race, everyone. And good win to Jonathan over there. Looking forward to next season and joining up with Sean next season.
Ty Robertson and Sean Williams bringing you a brand new team here, the Madness Racing League. 73 laps led here tonight for Ty Robertson. And we'll scoot down here to looks like going to be the P5 finisher. If he's still here, that's Terry Hughes Jr. Terry, you kind of walk us through your mind as you make your way down here to victory lane to go join Jonathan Smith and celebrate your championship for your team here tonight for 81 iRacing. Kind of walk us through your season as you really came to life here on the back half, and the Hard Charging Award will go home with you tonight.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know we made it that many spots. But, yeah, man, shout out to Rush Motorsports and Nat Daddy Racing. We've all freaking went out here and just started to collide with each other. Eddie Side's going to be dropping to 2 cars next season, so I don't know what I'm going to do as a team owner, if I'm going to be racing or not. But here on the last little bit, I knew we didn't have a car to win it. Just thought we'd go out here and push it and see what happens and come out with a P5.
Terry Hughes Jr. going to throw back some Bud Lights in the victory lane with his teammates as he will get drunk here tonight at Miami Speedway. We'll scoot down here to the second place runner-up here in the championship series, Chase Johnson. Really got to be defeat here tonight. The only championship you're missing for the complete puzzle here for the Madness Racing League, and you'll come up 3 points short here tonight at Homestead after dominating majority of the year. Kind of walk us through what's going through your head here. Great run here tonight for Chase Johnson Racing.
We can't help hold our heads too low. We had a really fast car tonight. Just didn't play the strategy like we should have. Probably should have waited it out the pit a few more laps before we made our last pit stop, but it is what it is now. It was a great season. We led a lot of laps, won a few races, so thank everybody at the shop for bringing fast cars here to the track at CJR. Congrats to Tankos on winning the championship. This shit's hard. I can't stress that enough. So congrats to him, and congrats to Jonathan for winning the race. So yeah, it's been a good season, and we'll re-rack for the off season. We'll come back season 3 and see what we got.
That's the team owner of Chase Johnson Racing, Chase Johnson, as he'll come just up short here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series and be back for season 3 to redeem himself. We'll scoot down here to the number 02. Finishing in the 9th place tonight, that's Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your night as you'll finish 3rd in the championship standings here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. It was a great race here tonight. A lot of monkey see, monkey do when it comes to the pit stop strategies. So we tried to throw it off strategy there. Save a set of tires at the end, just burned us. Came down pit road, pulled a little bit too much to the left of the box. Didn't get quite registered for the pit stop. That's on me. We'll learn from it. Come back next year. Had a blast. That's the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, and we'll scoot down here finally to the final 4 contestant of Jerry Powers. Jerry, big contact there early in tonight's race, left some damage on this number 99 machine. Stick around, have to watch it over. Just kind of walk us through your night here. You'll finish 2 laps down, 4th in the championship standings, 1 point behind Nicholas Maynard. It's not the night you were looking for here tonight after dominating majority part of the year.
Yeah, Corey the Fencer Tesner wrecked us while we were running some fast laps, which ended our race. It's a bummer. I was waiting around for that little lunch money victim. Couldn't find him. Looks like he ran with his tail tucked between his legs. Heard that's his thing now. But, yeah, congrats to Tankos on the win of the championship. Definitely a tough break.
Jerry Powers not happy here. He'll throw the Hans device down, and he'll walk off from the camera here. We'll throw it back up here to the booth. Kind of tempers flaring here at Homestead. Jonathan Smith wins here tonight and to spoil the party for the championship race. But Kevin Tankos will win his first Madness Racing League Xfinity Series championship. Chase Johnson will run it up in the 2nd place spot. Nicholas Maynard in the 3rd place championship point, and Jerry Powers in the 4th place spot. That'll do it down here in Victory Lane. Back up to the booth.
And back up here in the booth, ladies and gentlemen, and we will go ahead and see if we can't try to find a different angle for a different driver over here. We apologize. For ladies and gentlemen, we want to go ahead and remind you folks, though, that this has been one hell of a year so far for us. It's been one hell of a season for Season 2. We're going to send it to commercial break. We'll be back just a moment here. Try to get you guys squared away with a Season 3 schedule. Back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have just wrapped up Season 2 championship race. Got a quiet Miami Homestead Speedway here tonight. Everybody is starting to pile into their cars. We're reminding you we are not responsible for your DUI here. If you have been drinking at the racetrack, you are responsible to get yourself home, and it is not our responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, as we are still trying to pull up this Season 3 for MRL for you folks here. Try to get you guys squared away for a schedule. Would love to have you guys come on out next year. Ladies and gentlemen, give me one moment here. See if I can't find the Season 3 schedule. I know I have it on my thing, but if I can't find it, we'll just have to call it a night here and just forget about it. But it is what it is. That is okay. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you here tonight that Kevin Tankos goes home with the championship trophy here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. We'll pull up the final results here. Kevin Tankos won the race at the Charlotte Roval to lock himself into the playoffs, and if he didn't continue to dominate for the rest of the playoffs, he really came to life here on the back half of the playoff season. Ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys heading on over to the YouTube page all year long and showing us how things get down over there, giving us all the likes and subscribe. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I do have a picture of that Season 3 schedule, and I will pull that up for you folks right now. So make sure while I get it pulled up for you folks, you guys are heading on over to the MRL Discord and getting yourself signed up and registered today. Go ahead and screenshot that code and get it put up onto your screen, your Discord, whatever the case may be. But ladies and gentlemen, here is the first reveal of the Season 3 schedule, and we'll pull it up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to kick off the season next year at the Daytona International Speedway. Better yet, we will kick it off right here. Just a second, and bang. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Season 3 schedule for the Madness Racing League. Coming your way here in the next coming weeks. Make sure you're getting signed up here. Tons of more races added in this year, and a great playoff chance here tonight for a lot of you guys. More laps next year. A brand new logo, brand new sponsors, brand new everything. We're heading to Indianapolis. We're headed to Rockingham. We're heading to Pocono for the first time. It's going to be one hell of a season for Season 3. Would love to have you guys tune in. We're going to have custom setups placed in as the fixed setups, what I'm hearing for the admin. Brand new playoff format, brand new points format, and we would love to see you out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. There's your Season 3 schedule, folks. That'll do it for here for the Season 2 for the Madness Racing League. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and doing everything that you've done all year long, supporting us on the YouTube page. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tankos will go home tonight as the Season 2 champion, but it'll be Jonathan Smith in victory lane here at Homestead, spoiling the party. Kevin Tankos takes Season 2 trophy back to New Jersey. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you Wednesday night for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series live from Watkins Glen.
Watch out, you might just go